Hey guys, so today we're going to be working with Tinashe Hair Company. I have a 26-inch body wave, 200% density, 13 by 6 frontal. So we're actually going to be watercolor methoding my hair jet black today. We're going to be using the Kiss collection in jet black and blue black. So I got a bunch of hot water, not boiling. I let it go right before it started boiling, and I'm dumping in all of the jet black and about a third of the blue black. And then I'm going to get a tail comb and just mix that all together. Then I'm going to get that wig and I'm going to like Catholic priest baptize that into the water. I'm going to dunk it a few times, make sure everything's really coated. Then I'm going to let that sit for about 15 minutes, and I did wash that out with BioSilk conditioner, Silk Therapy. Then I'm going to go in Bleaching the Knots with a 30 volume and Quick Blue powder lightener. I'm going to get about 1 scoop of that. You don't need too much. And I'm going to kind of eyeball the developer. You don't want too much because you kind of want it to be a thicker consistency. Yes, that did happen, but we're going to move right along. So mix, mix, mix. I'm just using the brush that I'm going to use to apply the lightener onto the hair. And yeah, you wanted a really thick consistency because you don't want the lightener to seep through the knots. You want it to kind of sit on top, because the thing with lightener is that it's going to swell. As it processes, it's going to swell anyway. So you kind of want to give it room to swell and kind of encapsulate the knots anyway. So you're going to see I'm just patting that onto the hair. I'm not really trying to press it in too hard. I just want to make sure that all area of the lace is covered. And yeah, I think we're looking pretty good. Okay, she's thorough, never mind. Now we're looking good. Then I'm going to flip that over, make sure no hair is laying in that bleach, and let it sit for 20 minutes, and then I kind of check on it every 5 minutes after that. And then I'm going to wash that out with Shimmer Light shampoo and that BioSilk conditioner again. You're going to kind of see some hairs in the front are kind of orange. Oops. But it's an easy fix. So we're going to go in with that blue black again from Kiss and Adore Off Black and mix those together. I'm going to get a little spoolie brush. Right now I'm checking to make sure the damage is not in the middle of the hair and it's just at the front. And so far it seems like it's just at the front. So I get a little napkin. And I'm just kind of going to like dip the spoolie in each color just a little bit and roll it together to make sure it mixes. And very gently kind of roll that color onto the front hairline. I don't really want it to get on the lace, so I'm really kind of feeling for where that hair starts and rolling that hair upwards, or I'm sorry, rolling that spoolie upwards. And kind of just making sure I can darken those orange pieces again, because this hair is jet black and I don't want inconsistency in the front. It's going to be a little obvious. So yeah, I think we're looking way better. So I'm going to get a tail comb and I'm going to get a spray bottle with water. I like to make sure the hairline's really wet because it kind of exposes how the hairline actually looks, as opposed to when it's dry, it makes it look fuller. So I'm going to part off a small section in the front and I'm going to start plucking from that point. I kind of go from left to right or right to left, whichever direction, back and forth, just to kind of loosen up the hair. I'm not at this point trying to create a pattern or anything. I'm just trying to make sure there's less hair and it's not as bulky. And I'm going to do so lightly in the front as well because this wig did come pre-plucked. Just doing that same thing, going back and forth. I like to start in the middle first and then kind of work my way to either side. But constant combing, constant spraying of water. And yeah, that's kind of really what I do. So I'm going to let you guys watch for a while because it's pretty repetitive and you're going to start seeing it come to life soon anyway. One thing I do want to say is that I like to pluck further back, I think, than a lot of people realize. It's one thing to have your hair laying all flat and nice in the front, but if the part right behind that is not plucked and it's bulky, it's still going to make your front look bulky. So I'm not saying you have to pluck to the same capacity in the areas behind, but definitely pluck a little bit so that your hairline lays flatter. That would be my advice. Man, I'm just going to town. Like, I take plucking so seriously. And now my advice would be to study hairlines. I study natural hairlines of black people, white people, wig hairlines, real hairlines, it doesn't matter. And what I've noticed is a lot of hairlines have little holes in them. So I'm naturally trying to create those holes with my tweezers. If you do a lot of baby hair, you don't really have to do this step because when you part that hair off of the baby hair, it'll do that naturally. But I'm not really a baby hair fanatic, so I'm going to do it myself manually. I hope that makes sense. Now I'm going to go in with Silk Infusion and we're going to get ready for this blowout. Coat that all on the hair. It really does wonders, trust me. Going in with that Babyliss and that paddle brush. Right now I'm doing what's called blast drying. Just trying to get as much moisture out of that hair as possible before I go in with that paddle brush and go to town. So something I'll say about blow drying your hair, I see a lot of people do, they forget about their ends. They'll drag that brush all the way through the hair, and then at the ends they'll just let it loose. And that's why we have frizzy ends and ends we have to keep on going over and over with the flat iron. So I would say keep that same energy all throughout the ends of the hair. So we just kind of spread through now. It's getting a little more dry. I really like to make sure my hair is dry because I think this part, making sure it's super excessive with the paddle brush, makes it silkier when I flat iron it. And you're going to see I'm going through from mid shaft to the ends. Like I said, I focus on those ends because I don't want to reapply that flat iron more than I have to. And now we can see she's definitely really thick, but I like that. She's got a little movement. Okay. She looks really blue in the camera, but I promise she's not really blue at all in person. So if you have one of these wig canvas heads and you center your wig properly, you could use that line as a center point. So I'm kind of just getting the middle parts ready, and then I'm going to go in with my hot comb and get that thing flat. You're going to see me in a second go in sections to really make sure I can get heat throughout all that frontal and make sure that I get a flat install. Then I'm going to go in and do the same thing on the other side. You can kind of see the difference from one side to the other. It may seem small, but trust me, it makes a difference in the end. So now I'm going to go in with my little flat iron comb tool thingy that I got from the beauty supply and my 1.25-inch flat iron. And this is in real time because I want you guys to see how slowly I go with this flat iron through the hair. I want to make sure the heat is very evenly distributed through each section so that my hair can be silk. Now, am I being dramatic? Absolutely. Do you have to go this slow? Probably not. But like I said, I just like to make sure that at the end of the day, my hair is silk. Okay? And the same thing with the ends. Drag that flat iron all the way through to the ends. The ends have to fall from my flat iron. I don't let the flat iron go. And now I'm doing the same thing with the other sections. Even spread up, it still looks slow. Don't worry, you're not going to have to watch me flat iron this whole thing. That's torture. I just want you to see how this section's going to look after I finish flat ironing it. You can see better here that I really follow through to the ends. She's silky, you can't even lie. She looks silky. Okay. Now I'm going to go in with like a little razor. I'm going to very lightly layer that hair at the ends, like very little bit, just a little bit for a little extra movement. And so that when I curl it, it gives a little bit more volume. And then I'm doing the same thing on the other side, holding the hair straight out towards a 90-degree angle. But we'll get to that later once we get to hair cutting. It wasn't even, so I'm just going to make sure I even that out. And I'm going to hot comb that back to prepare for the install and for the tinting of the lace. Hairline looks great. Tooting my own horn. So I'm going in with TruMatch Lace Conceal Dark and Bronze. One thing I think I've noticed about TruMatch is that the colors also go by undertone. For instance, I got bronze and I got dark. I noticed bronze has a cool undertone and dark has more of a warm undertone. But I think I should have gotten tan, even though it's a little bit light, because it has more of a golden undertone, and I have a golden undertone, if that makes sense. So the dark I used for a little bit of warmth, but it did end up being a little bit too dark for me, and you're going to see that now when I check the lace on my hand. But that's okay, now we know for next time. And jumping right into the install. I'm starting with the ball cap already done and my first layer of glue already down. I just want to show you guys how I lay my glue, and I apologize, I forgot to show you guys, but I am using the Ericka J lace glue. Love that glue. Bought it once, never looked back. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, you guys, this isn't really an install video. I just wanted to let you guys see the install process so you can see it from beginning to end. So I think I'm just gonna let this video play a little bit and you guys can watch. But don't worry, do not fret. I do have a lace video coming soon. And that one I'll talk through and give you all the tips and tricks and whatnot. But for now, just enjoy this little lace tutorial. And I'll be back soon. Okay, I'm back for the big reveal. Okay. Disclaimer, I just want to say I let all my styles set overnight, and I did include a video so you guys can see it the next morning. I do look like a big toe. I'm sorry. Like I said, it was the next morning. But the lace is laid. Let's focus. That lace is melted. And yeah, you guys, she's so cute. Alright, you guys, I know this video was a doozy, but thank you so much for sticking with me. I love how it turned out. I think it was totally worth it. Tinashe Hair, I love that hair company. I've bought from them before. The hair is so soft. I get so many compliments every time, seriously. Give this video a thumbs up if you learned something today. And make sure to comment and subscribe. Later!